Good evening, everybody. You got Kody Ashmore, Director of Weekly Option Strategies, and tonight's free options video. So, I want to talk about a few things. I want to talk about a potential setup in Starbucks, about olive oil in coffee, apparently is a thing, and the circle of life. Those of you that have been with me in the options room the last few days, I've been talking about this, and we always get this song stuck in our head from The Lion King. But let's go ahead and talk about that. What is this circle of life? And the reason I call it the circle of life is really just because it's a circle. So if you were to draw a volume profile since the COVID lows, right here, this level right here, let me change the color, is the point of control, right? And you can see how it's been support here, kind of just oscillating there, was resistance, resistance, and you see the picture here. So basically, this is kind of the equilibrium. If you've heard me talk before, you've heard me say about break and retest. That's exactly what's happening right here at the center of the circle of life. So and the reason I'm calling it the circle of life is really, if we just draw a line across, clearly just to show support and resistance, right? And what's kind of funny is the reason I call it circle of life is because I can go from here down through it and back up. And the reason I do it like that is because it shows how it is basically the center point of the circle. I know that's not a very good circle, but you get what I'm getting at, right? And so it's the pivot point, right? It's a pivot. And then so as it goes to pivot, so I want to zoom in. I mean, we have a very clear breakout of a very key level, pull back to a very key level, and we're just making, we're up. It's like we went up, price confirmation, and boom, that was the pullback. So in this circle of life, if things are looking bullish once again, and that's the only pullback that's going to occur, where do we want to go looking for potential setups? We would want some bullish trades, in my opinion, and maybe there'll be some potential run into earnings and things like that. And so none other than olive oil in your coffee, Starbucks. It's kind of funny. Whenever all of us traders were in Chicago last weekend, Henry and I were talking about it quite a bit, and a bunch of other, let's say there's a few other employees that were there that were talking about how interesting, in my opinion. I think it sounds like an increase in calories for no reason, but hey, and you're hearing it from I am a fan of the ketogenic diet, but hey, that's a whole other discussion. But it's just an interesting combination. I'm all for butter, but I don't know about olive oil. Okay, so Starbucks. I want to talk to y'all about a bullish setup here. So basically, same thing. It's a level, right? It was here, was support here, was support here, and we've come back down to the support. We hit it, oscillated, did do a spike up, and then the question here is this going to be like, the way I'm looking at this, is this going to be a W bottom? And then we kind of at least come back up to here. And the setup here is first, we've come down to support. Support is holding. You can look at it in a multitude of different ways. We can pull this up here, and I have my weekly, and let's go into the daily time frames. And so first off, we're printing a weekly high of low bar signal here off of the weekly 50. So we're down at support. Here is the weekly 50, and we have our buy signal actually 3 weeks ago. So basically, if you're trading the high of low bar signal, and you got long and it came right back down, you technically didn't get stopped out because your stop is down here at 96.50. So it's offering another opportunity to get in to potentially go back up to the upside. Now that also goes over here to the daily time frame. We had one over here, basically when it stopped out because your stop is the same spot. So basically, with this daily squeeze going on this level of support, it may actually be just enough to get this thing kicking. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. Let's look at the 195-minute chart. All right, still just printing the same thing. But you just see how it is a level of support. So how can you play this? So first, let's talk about what's the setup. Price has come down into support, and then on multiple time frames, we're getting high of low bar signals. And basically, from a technical analysis perspective, we're on support, and we're getting a signal to go long and a stop beside the lows. And so if this is the case, and I would like to see the squeeze go bullish, you could basically, from even a bigger picture time frame, go long here, because you see all these wicks, it tells you buyers to step again here. You go long here, stop at the lows, and see how you want to do it, or any bullish trade you'd like to do. For me personally, I'm not in it yet, giving it a little bit of time, but since its beta is low, I was actually thinking of, if I want to go longer time frame, maybe out of the money, just until into July, a butterfly. And so it's a very low risk, high reward trade if the trade does unfold. Say we do get like a rally into earnings. So for one position, you could risk $92 and then a max profit of roughly, we'll just call it $400. So basically, risk one, max profit is 1 to 4 trade, and then even you don't have to get the whole 4, just like lock up, I don't know, maybe a 300% return or whatnot. Nonetheless, the setup is there, and this is great for small accounts, right? You throw in, you could risk 92 cents, get 2 positions, risk 200. When you're up 100%, close half. Now it's a risk-free trade, and just see what plays out. But that is a setup I am watching that I do like. A lot of volume, well, I won't say a lot, but more volume the last few days occurred today down here at these levels. So, yeah, that's a potential trade setup worth watching. Seeing if we go to 105, 110, 100. Looking for support to hold and kind of like oscillate a little bit, bouncing up into this level, rallying into earnings. But that's all I have for y'all. Circle of life and olive oil in your coffee. So hope everyone has a great evening, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Without simpler trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency.
It's one of the things that won me